So I am today again with one of the most important terminology topics, say, that is climate forcing. See, now in the contemporary world, right, the climate change is rather a buzzword. You must have heard, you must have read this climate change as a terminology, like many a times. And what this climate forcing is absolutely that uh, mechanism or like a process that is in connection with the climate change itself. So today in this video, what we are going to discuss what it means by climate forcing, what are the reasons, what are the like the different types of forcing, natural forcing, anthropogenic forcing, positive forcing, negative forcing, and further their effects and consequences as well. है ना? So watch this video till the end, guys, and believe me, at the end of this particular video you will get a better idea. Okay, you will have a better idea about this overall terminology, because as it is in the current affairs and it is equally important, right, say from the various examination perspective, particularly UPSC के लिए तो ये वैसे भी important है. See, climate forcing. So without wasting further time, start करते हैं. Climate forcing, a primer on the Earth's climate dynamics. This particular PDF, guys, you can find again on the geo4geography.com as well. ठीक है, so वहाँ से भी आप ले सकते हो, और I will add this PDF link over in the description box, so you can get it download from there as well. See, climate forcing, a primer on the Earth's climate dynamics. In order to understand this term, first the 80% of terms are rather self-explanatory, provided आपको उसका meaning read करते आना चाहिए. देखो अब climate forcing क्या word है. Now what I think, say we should add climate change forcing over here. ठीक है, एक word मुझे add करना है that will rather help you to understand the whole terminology itself. Climate change forcing. See, now what does that mean then, or how the meaning then inferred from it? It is simply a process or a phenomena or a mechanism which forces climate to change. Right, guys? Climate change forcing, it is simply a process or a phenomena or a mechanism which forces climate to change. That is what climate forcing. I think बहुत easy way में मैंने आपको इसको explain किया है, and you guys will can have a better idea than further reading the definition. Climate forcing refers to factors or processes that influence the Earth's energy balance, leading to changes in the climate. This forcing can be both natural and human induced, impacting the delicate equilibrium that sustains our climate. See, now guys, in geoengineering wala video, right, on this channel itself, I have already explained the concept of this heat budgeting, then geoengineering and its various solutions as well. If you haven't watch that video, please do watch that video first, क्योंकि वहां से आपको कुछ और भी चीजें पता चलेगी. See, अब Earth, basically you guys must be aware about heat budget, and heat budget, it is like simply the phenomena where this energy received by the Earth's surface is somehow tried to balance, like by means of emission, है ना? So if incoming energy balance is what balanced with the outgoing energy, you will find this budgeting activity is rather ensured. But what if received energy is more than what is emitted? In that case, energy accumulation is there. ये हो जाएगा global warming. And what if received energy is less than what is emitted by the Earth's surface? Result is global cooling. क्योंकि energy excess release हो रही है, you will find global cooling is what that phenomena. So which factors leading to impact on either energy received, insolation, global radiation, or either the global terrestrial radiations as well. Okay, that then defines the climate forcing factors or agents. I hope guys you are getting this thing. Climate change forcing क्या है? It is simply that is phenomena dealing with the energy balance जिसमें incoming और outgoing इनका balance हो रहा है. अगर incoming या outgoing by any means if you find imbalance, right, so those factors responsible for this imbalance they are rather climate change forcing factors, you know, and that process is known as climate forcing itself. Now see, there are two types then which drives this forcing, like whether these factors are nature driven or naturally derived, or these factors are man centric factors or man forced factor. तो पहला होगा natural forcing, under which you will find a small change in the radiation balance of solar energy is suffice to lead a large scale changes on the earth's energy balance. Like for example, according to solar irradiance theory, just barely a 0.5% variation in the solar radiations on the earth's surface is enough to lead either global warming or global cooling phase itself. तो देखो solar radiation management is rather much more important. Second, volcanic activity natural है, yeah, natural है. Even before the human presence you will find volcanic activity was there or were there. So volcanic eruption, it leads to this such an aerosols, such an particles in the atmosphere are responsible for say a global cooling as in, ठीक है, yeah, cooling itself, right? You heard right thing. Volcanic release leads to global cooling and not global warming. Global rise in temperature in the short run, but in the long run for sure continuous release of volcano would lead to global cooling. कैसे है? If you guys are having idea, please let me know in the comment box. Okay, then these are the natural ways. Second है anthropogenic ways or anthropogenic forcing. क्या होगा इसमें? See, human driven factors are rather much more prominent over here. These factors leads to, you know, are driven by man made, like इसको connect कर सकते हो, you will many find like say industries, vehicular use है, carbon coal burnings है, thermal power plants है, deforestation itself. There are many factors you will find say those are responsible for this forcing led by human. So greenhouse gas emission, the burning of fossil fuel release carbon dioxide, methane and other gases and leads to land use changes equally responsible for deforestation जो मैंने already बनाया, ठीक बताया आपको, ठीक है. So these are two types based on the driven factors के whether they are nature originated or man made originated. Or now अब second categorization of the climate change forcing you will find there are two further. One is positive based on the impact or based on the result that it leads to, just like positive forcing and negative forcing, ठीक है. अब positive forcing it means what? If the climate forcing results into global warming or rise in temperature, ठीक है, if it leads to heat accumulation then consequent rise in temperature, this process leads to global warming, and this type of forcing is known as positive forcing, positive climate forcing. A positive climate forcing कौन से factors responsible हो गए? See, it refers to factors or processes that enhance the greenhouse effect, trapping more heat in the Earth's atmosphere and contributing to the warming climate. Then example देखो, greenhouse gas emission, ये you guys are pretty much aware about this thing. Then deforestation, yeah, that is equally leading to rise in temperature. या contemporary time में जो भी चीजें हो रही, क्योंकि all these are leading to rise in temperature, you guys can connect it with. Then see, black carbon and soot. Black carbon, that is simply a form of carbon that remains stick to the ground, and as it is black it keeps on absorbing energy. जब energy absorb करेगा तो obvious है heat content और temperature increased हो जाएगा उसमें. Now what are the significant positive forcing impacts like global temperature rise leading to various climate related impacts such as more frequent and severe heat waves, changing precipitation patterns and rising sea level, जो कि आज हम experience कर रहे हैं, increase in cyclonic intensity, increase in disaster, climate variations as well. All these factors are rather responsible for or say leading to. Then next है negative forcing. As positive forcing that leads to rise in temperature and global warming, negative forcing is exactly opposite to it. What does that mean then? It means say यहाँ पे energy content is rather reduced, that leads to reduction in temperature condition, that leads to global cooling. So if any factors, okay, or if factors are responsible for the global cooling phenomena, that is simply, or ice age phenomena, that is simply the negative forcing phenomena itself. And what? See, negative forcing refers to factors or processes that diminish the greenhouse effect, allowing more heat to escape from the Earth's atmosphere and contributing to cooling effect. इसका best example है volcanic eruption. Volcanic eruption है क्योंकि वो long run में यही करेगा. And aerosol pollution. Aerosols, they are the best reflector. You'll find scattering or reflector, so they scattered and reflect the light, say in the outer atmosphere itself, and leading to say cooling effect then. So land use changes, afforestation, these are all say the responsible cases. You guys can again from the PPT, again from this PDF can further go through that detail. Then इसके बाद देखो impact क्या हो रहे हैं negative forcing के, temporary cooling of the climate, providing brief respite from the global warming. Then mitigation of some climate change impacts such as reduction in the intensity of heat waves and like the balancing forces, and thus understanding both positive and negative forcing and man-made, anthropogenic or natural forcing are rather much more important for overall understanding and management of the global climate. Hence this concept is much more important. I hope guys you are pretty much clear with the एक और term होती है इसमें radiation forcing. Radiation forcing is simply that is a measure of, देखो इसी PPT में you will find, बाकी इसमें और भी कुछ terms दिए you can go through. I am over here interested in the radiation forcing. See, radiative forcing, this is what simply change in the energy balance at the top of the atmosphere due to external factors, है ना. तो this is simply a change in the, that is what a scale on which this particular forcing is to be measured. Positive forcing warms the climate while negative forcing cools it. So this radiative forcing, climate forcing, natural forcing, anthropogenic forcing, positive forcing and negative forcing. I hope you guys are pretty much clear with this basic terminologies, है ना. If you really like this video, so don't forget to like it, comment it and share it further with your friends as well, है ना. So chalo, yes, thank you guys and have a good time.